Welcome to this edition of the Forest All Over the World podcast. Matt is late. I am late. It's very late here, which is why we're doing it on this camera angle, not the normal format that we usually do. Matt, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about the camera angle. This is more I'm jumping in. This is also because we're a bit out of sync because of the international break. I'm going to blame it a bit on that. And thank God it's blooming over. That was one of the most boring international breaks, let alone that they're normally boring, despite our lovely Morgan Gibbs-White playing for the wonderful England against the tragic Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. Not doing well, despite what you say about England every time you play it.
Stop. Yep. You've gone straight into it already, all right? I haven't even done the intro. I haven't even done the Forest All Over the World stuff. You're wasting my time. You were the one that was late, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Anyway, let's hit the music.
I was late.
We've got NFFC Southwest branch member Steve Hornbuckle checking in from Tahiti. So Tahiti's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah. Where is it? Hawaii? When the Pacific somewhere?
Tahiti's not in Hawaii. No,
it's not,
Tahiti
is it?
No, well, we'll get someone to write in and tell us where it is. We've got Jackson from San Diego, who was talking about Morgan Gibbs-White wearing a San Diego Padres hat, and that's a hat that he also owns because he obviously likes the Padres. He's from San Diego, so that's pretty cool. Little connection.
I'm excited by San Diego and Tahiti, to be honest. That's exotic places from grey old London or Nottingham.
Yep, and then we've got Dubai Trickies recently did their own little podcast, so big shout out to them. Not little, but they did their own podcast. They've just done one
patronising
episode. No, it wasn't bad. Chris Walsh has been on already. He knows us. Anyway, Dubai Trickies have done their podcast. Check it out. It's pretty cool. It's about their adventures as Dubai Trickies. Have a look at that. I don't know why I said little. It's probably because it's the first episode of it. But big shout out to Dubai Trickies and Chris Walsh. Go for it.
From one little podcast to another. Big shout out.
And then the final thing is Statsman Will, our very own Dr. Will, and we'll end on this and fade the music out strategically. Dr. Will, legend.
Great North Run. What a legend.
Completed the Great North Run for Cystic Fibrosis Trust, I think. So, or Cystic Fibrosis. So, huge shout out to Will. You're an absolute legend. Usually what we do here is we do a Forest All Over the World pre-match, and we do a Chris and Matt Forest All Over the Place, so the post-match. But today, I thought it would be nice to do a pre-match because we'd taken a bit of time off during the international break. I thought it'd be nice for the two of us to come back and discuss the Liverpool game together. I thought that would be a nice thing. The planning's gone a little bit awry, primarily because Matt rang me an hour into when we were supposed to be recording, which is why the camera angles aren't set up and everything. If you're not an audio, if you're not an audio listener and you're a YouTube watcher, that's why they're like this. The reason it went awry is because Matt rang me saying, I can't get out of here. I've got to get out. I don't know how to get out. I'm thinking, where is he stuck? Is he in an escape room or something? No, he was where he always is, in a pub with someone else, having half forgotten that he was doing the episode and lost track.
I hadn't half forgotten. Time escaped me. The meeting was going well. I had to keep up with the guy drinking, and I said I would. Thinking, and I was like, I've got to go out. I'm recording a podcast tonight with the guy I do podcast with from Nottingham. He was like, who do you do podcast for? I was like, it's a football podcast. It's a sports podcast. He goes, which football team? And I went, Nottingham Forest. He went, oh, yeah. Are they back in the Premier League now? I was like, yes, mate. So it just annoyed me. And then I was like, I ran to the toilet. Called Chris. I was like, Jesus. I thought I was like running a bit late. It's an hour and a half late. And anyway, look, I'm really sorry. That's why I'm wearing these antlers. These antlers are a forfeit.
Matt usually wears a hat, but he's forfeited today and he's wearing antlers instead. But look, we're about 4.5 minutes in. We've done a bit of Forest
antlers. All right, yeah.
Let's kind of move on. How was your international break? Because for me, as you mentioned at the top of the podcast, it was absolutely horrific. I mean, it's probably the worst international break I've ever had.
I don't really care about the Declan Rice Grealish stuff. So when I saw straight away that they both scored, I was like, what's going on? Is this like a fake game? It's like a pretend football game where the marketing and I don't know. It was so weird to see that before I even tuned in. All I wanted to see was Morgan Gibbs-White get a game. But I was thinking for you, I actually would rather I really remember supporting Ireland in the 90s. I think it's quite cool. But since I've known you, and since I've seen the way you react when I'm supporting England in World Cups and Euros, and I know the glee in which you take when England don't do well. And because I fall out with you and we can't even talk for a couple of days. And I'm like, he's gone quiet. I was like, I don't even care about this England team, and I don't care about this friendly, and I kind of wish Ireland were doing better. But because of those things I just mentioned, I was a bit like, you know what? How do I take Chris to town on this? I was like, yeah, Declan Rice and Grealish. But I think of all your mates who I'm really close to and really like. I don't have a vendetta against Ireland, as I said. But because of you,
course,
you've ruined that. You've ruined it for me. You've ruined it for them. And now I'm going, yes, Declan Rice. Yes, Jack Grealish. Chris takes all the glee in the world when England don't have a great success story. So I'm going to have to try and enjoy this, even though I don't actually enjoy it.
Right. Well, let's just stop that there. Okay. It was a bit of a mixture and a cauldron of feelings and emotions based on numerous
wasn't it?
things that were happening.
It was really such a mixture. Gibbs White from Forest. England are boring. Ireland aren't doing very well.
Ireland's new manager in charge, who we're not sure if he's good or bad, and so England had a new manager in charge as well. There was so much going on, and England's new manager played for the Republic of Ireland as well. So there's just loads going on. So
I'm going to want to sing the national anthem. 50% of the England fans are annoyed about it. It's like,
hang on. Can I just address three things really quickly, and we can move on from the international break because everyone spoke about it. We had Forest Focus this morning slagging me and another Irish Forest fan off about it. Matt Davies mentioned us in it, and then we had loads of people pile on online. Even Red Side of the Trent got involved in this Twitter back and forth, having a laugh at me and Shane and a couple other Irish Forest fans. But anyway, it's irrelevant. I just want to, it is all good fun and games, but I just want to address three separate things. First thing, Lee Carsey not singing the Irish, or Lee Carsey not singing the English national anthem. He's not going to do that. He's had 40 caps for Ireland, played for the Republic of Ireland, went to the World Cup with the Republic of Ireland. He's not going to go to Lansdowne Road and then all of a sudden belt out the British national anthem. That would be disrespectful. And trust me, there would be a lot more defensive
I don't think you should say British then, mate. If we're going to get political, even on
I don't want to get political. I just
want a lot of Scottish fans out there that don't like to sing the English.
I just want you to shut up and listen for a second.
So I wouldn't call it British then. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. The English national anthem, right?
There you go.
I don't want. Sorry.
I'm just protecting you. I'm just protecting you.
Obviously I know Scots are Scots, and just shut up for a second.
Okay.
I'm just saying that Lee Carsey was never going to do that. He had 40 caps for the Republic of Ireland. He might do it in other games, but he's certainly not going to do it at Lansdowne Road. It's just not going to happen. That's just never going to happen. Second thing, Declan Rice and Jack Grealish scoring within 25 minutes of the kickoff. I mean, horrendous.
Do you concede any sort of what a joke this is from your front?
No, because here's my thing. A lot of people are annoyed for various different reasons at Declan Rice and Jack Grealish leaving Ireland and, being inverted commas traitors and going to England. My problem isn't that they just left, because if they played one or two games at the under-16s and then decided to switch, that happens with loads of different countries all the time. Obviously, the historical references between England and Ireland are very different, but for me, the big problem is Declan Rice played 4 age groups. Same with Jack Grealish, 3 or 4 age groups before they switched. So they took some other Irish potential players' place. And that's where I'm like, oh God. And then by the time Declan Rice had 3 senior Irish caps, and then by the time they got to the top, they went, you know what, we're going to switch. And that was the thing that bothered me. But I'll give Declan Rice a little bit of credit. He didn't celebrate. And then afterwards, his press conference afterwards, or the post-match interview, he was very respectful and explained that there's, the reasons why he would never celebrate and he wanted to be respectful. Doesn't heal over the wounds. Certainly when Jack Grealish celebrated, didn't heal over the wounds, but it does help. Anyway, it's irrelevant. People aren't here for that. Some people are.
No, we need to get back to Forest. Because you and I need to unite the clans, as it were.
Well, hang on. Let's just really quickly unite the clans. That's a Braveheart reference. If ever I heard one. Let's really talk about, and this is important actually. I'm going to turn the heater. Off in my background here. Hold on. It's on. It shouldn't be on. Right. Let's get back to Morgan Gibbs White playing for England. This is the nice part of the whole story. For me, I understand the gravity of Morgan Gibbs White playing for England more than most people probably imagine. I think it's a really big deal. It's a first English player to play for England for Forest since 1997. It's a really huge deal. But what I thought was really lovely about it was the moment he got ready to go off the bench. Obviously, I'm devastated because Ireland are losing and the Grealish Roy stuff. All these WhatsApp groups with fans, Forest fans from England or expats from different countries who are Forest fans, how proud they all were, and all the emotional messages I could see in different WhatsApp groups or online or all that. I just thought it was really kind of cool. And I was like, yeah, actually, this is kind of a cool big deal. And that kind of was the bittersweet moment. It made it a little bit sweeter because you could see how much it meant to all the Forest fans who were English. And I just thought that was really, cool. I mean, how did you feel?
Sorry, I don't want to sound like a deliberate nonconformist, but my feelings around it all are very much back into my negative Nelly pot. I'm a bit like, because of Carsley, assuming he doesn't get the job permanently, is this like Morgan Gibbs-White's got some stiff competition in that role, and if it's not for Carsley, does Gibbs-White even get a look in? And that's where I went straight to. I was like, this is lovely. I love the first time Forest player since '97 and Stuart Pearce, and I love Morgan Gibbs-White.
Negativity straight away. It's just,
I know,
how
come on,
I've
let's get
managed to
real.
be positive
I'm not
from that
making
and
that up.
use-
I'm not making that up, am I? Tell me, am I making that up and being negative, or do you actually see a
Yeah, I
stroke
think
of
you are.
truth in it?
You know, I think you are, because I think
Does
there's a new
Gibbs-White get
man.
picked now? Does he get picked for the World Cup in 2 years?
I'm not saying he gets picked ahead of Grealish, but I'm saying he can work his
Do
way
you
into
think Gibbs-White's going to the World Cup in 2 years, 3
Yeah, I
years,
do.
whatever it is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Well, brilliant.
I do.
I hope he does. I really hope he does. But in my gut, I feel like he won't.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. Anyway, look,
It's not an opinion; it's a feeling. My opinion is he should be playing because he's tenacious and he's what he wants it in a way that's kind of Pearce-esque. I just got a feeling that this is a. I don't know. I'm just a bit nervous that this is a flash in the pan. Sadly,
the thing that
dare
you
have
should,
said it
yeah,
live on YouTube, or not live on
massive,
YouTube, pre-recorded on
massive.
YouTube. Yeah.
The thing you should be focused on in your beer fogged brain under those antlers should be focused on is the fact that he got the cap and it's opened the door, and it shows how far Forest have come as well, that we have a player of that
Oh
quality to
yeah.
break
Well,
into.
no, I'm not
Shut up for
denying
a
any of those
second.
things. I'm not denying those things though. Just to clarify.
Okay, but that's what we should be focused on. I've tried to take away the most painful memory of something happening to the Republic of Ireland football team the other day and flip reverse into a positive, and you've taken it straight to another space. But look, we'll leave that there. We need to talk about Liverpool, because 12 minutes in, people are looking at us going, what is going on? These lads have gone off on tangents, gone on and on and on. We spoke about the international break. I want to get into the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
We're playing Liverpool this weekend, and I want your
We've done
immediate...
a post Wolves, haven't we?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah,
did
you were in
post Wolves
Croatia.
when I was in
Yeah.
Croatia. Yeah.
So here we go.
Gee.
Liverpool's coming up. I mean, what do we want to say that hasn't already been said? I've been following a lot of the Forest content. It's very interesting how people are placing us. You've called it that we win at Anfield this year.
Yeah, stand by that.
You stand by it?
Yeah, I stand by that. Yeah. So none of the results that they've already had make any difference to me whatsoever. I stand by that. We're beating Liverpool at Anfield.
I mean, now you've said that, and because you stood by it, I almost don't want it to happen. But that's to do with
Why?
me and you.
What?
Because
Yeah,
of
no,
me
that
and
is to do
you.
with me and you. Yeah.
I know.
You need to
Aside from
grow
you
up.
saying that, I mean, I can see it as well. You know what I was
Now
thinking today?
you know
I was
saying.
listening to some other pre-Forest, pre-Liverpool Forest content, and subconsciously, what came to mind was I don't think that we're going to win. I actually think Nuno's. I think we're really hard to score against. We really are. We haven't. I don't know what that's based on, because we've been really easy to score against for years. But I think that we might nullify them for ages and just lose 1-0 or something. I really think that's going to be what happens.
Well,
Jota, their Jota. I think our Jota will score as well, actually. So I think it'll be 2-1 Liverpool. But I think they'll really struggle to break us down. But I don't think we'll have a very exciting game until Jota Silva comes on.
based on sort of the last 3 or 4 hours of you being in the pub, I don't think you really have any collective idea of breaking down what you think or what you think you want either way. And I'm not just going at you here. I mean, I have a sheet of paper and a list of things here, and you on the other end of a conversation about Liverpool, and you've gone from you think we're going to win to we're going to lose 1-0 to we're going to lose 2-1 to
I didn't think we were going to win. I didn't think we were going to win. I was framing it with the context that you have predicted we'll win away at Anfield. I wanted to put it out there in case you'd hoped we'd all forgotten. You've called it that we're going to win there. I want to get behind you.
Yeah,
there's layers to this, Chris. There's layers.
There's only one layer, and the one layer is the pattern of how we play against them and how we nullify them, which we have done in the past. The last 5 games we've played against Liverpool, only once they've washed us out. That was 3-0 under Steve Cooper when Turner made that awful mistake last year. The other 4 times, once in an FA Cup quarter-final, they just about beat us 1-0, where Diego Jota actually looked offside. That's when we were in the Championship. The next game, we beat them 1-0, completely nullified them. The next game after that, we lost 3-2 narrowly. Awful set piece defending at the time, but we came back into the game. I think we were 2-2 at one stage. That was in Anfield. Then the next game was the 3-0 washout. And then the game after that, they beat us pretty much unfairly because it was the tail end of a game and the ball was given back to them by the referee. And that was under Nuno. And I think Nuno played 4 at the back in that game as well. So we didn't nullify them by just sitting back with 5 at the back. We nullified them in a different way and kept our shape really well. So based on the 5 games we played against them, they actually find it difficult to play against us, right? They do. And there's a lot of players still left over from that game last season specifically, where we only lost 1-0 late from a Núñez 99th minute heartbreaking dagger goal that should never have been. So based on that, I think we're going to make life difficult for them. I do. And I know they haven't.
Do you know what I mean? I've got 2 things to come back to you on that. Do you huh?
Okay, go ahead.
Do you think I can't remember what A was. B was, do you agree that Jota Silva is going to come on and just score for Forest? I just think it's written in the stars, isn't it?
You cut me off to ask me an A question that wasn't existing, and a B question is about your new favorite player. Just try and find out what the A question is.
The A question was, does Morgan Gibbs-White come into tomorrow's game similarly to that Man United game where he had the big banner put out with his fingers in his ears and then he went and scored? Gibbs-White coming off the back of an England international debut, does he come back with a sort of that, he's a showman and he seems to do well under that kind of guise, that kind of extra propulsion. Is this another version of that? Because he's coming back from international break. Does he have the wind in his sails, and does he deliver like at his supreme best because of that? And it happens to be at Anfield. Do you know, I want to believe that he does, but most of the evidence will dictate that he probably can't and won't. He'll have a great game and he'll be our talisman. But I'm saying that another Man United day because of having an England appearance. What do you think to that? Was A. B was, does Jota Silva come on and get a goal because he's just a maverick, mate? Maverick with a capital V in the middle of it. Capital K at the end.
A. Look at me.
I'll listen.
A. No, I've zoomed in on purpose. A. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Now I look like a porn star.
No, I'm going to zoom out again for you saying that. Right. A. Yes. Absolutely. A. Yes, he does. Gibbs-White always shows up. Pretty much always shows up.
He always shows up.
Pretty much always shows up. So he's just come off the back of the international break, having got his first England cap. His confidence is flying high. Yeah, I think he makes a big difference in that team. But it's going to be a real team effort and a team game. But yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think Gibbs-White scores. Tempted to leave him in my FPL team. Tempted to leave him there and trust him. Trust him at Anfield. Trusted him before at Anfield. He got an assist and a goal a couple of years ago. They had a good season in FPL. We'll talk about fantasy football later, how you don't have Haaland or Salah in your team and you're terrible. Anyway, B.
I'm doing a wild card tomorrow.
Jesus. B. Jota Silva. I don't know. That's not even an important enough question because, like, he's not the one I'd be thinking of. I'm thinking of, does Alanga or Hudson-Odoi come on if they're not already starting? Because one of them might not be starting. That's my bigger sort of question is what sort of tactics, what sort of formation, and what sort of players do we start? And then we can talk about the Sousas or the Jota Silvas or whoever comes off the bench to create a bit of havoc. So speaking of that, if you can dig somewhere into that brain of yours tonight, please find a way to give me your formation and your team. Just really quickly off or do you want me to start to help you?
How this is not our style, Chris, but okay.
Okay, so because it's not our style, ladies and gentlemen, just so everyone knows, I'll look straight down the barrel of the camera for you. Because it's not our style, essentially what Matt's saying is I'm not allowed to tell everyone what my favorite starting team.
No, I'd like to hear yours because I'll then ask questions about it. That's a good idea. I actually love hearing yours because you played the game and you thought about this stuff. I get confused because I just like all of our forward players, so I just want them all on, and I just sort of go, oh yeah, lose the keeper. I'm very curious about the midfield, the James Ward-Prowse versus Yates versus Dominguez versus. Do you know what I mean? We've got a lot of midfield players. That's always a curious conundrum. Has been.
Well,
for
why
us
don't you
for
ask me then? Okay, ask me.
Go on,
Say,
tell me what.
no,
Tell me what you think our
ask me what the
starting lineup will
formation
be.
is. Ask me what the strategy
Okay,
is.
the
Ask me who I'm
formation.
starting with.
Tell me what you think the formation, the strategy, and who you're starting is. That all kind of comes into one. You can give me that all in one answer. I'd be interested to hear it because I am interested because I've seen all the other predictions about losing the wingers and building up from the back and having or maybe like a 4-2-2-2 and you know, I mean, there's a few options out there that sound sensible, but I don't know. I'm a big Cho fan. I want Callum Hudson-Odoi to hit form. I'm a big Jota Silva fan. Again, like I said a minute ago, I like all the forward players, so I don't really know what to suggest because I think we're gonna. You have to look at Nuno, don't you? He's going to build it really defensively. They're going to be tight as hell. Milenkovic and Murillo are starting, and maybe a third. Maybe Omobamidele gets jumped in there. But come on, Chris, you're the one that can do this. Go on, hit me with it.
Well, you did all right there. Maybe you're better when you're drunk. Right.
Every episode this season, you've said I've been more of a football podcaster. You've said I've made some. Maybe it's
I'm
the
about to mute you now. I'm muting you.
Yeah,
you're muted.
Let's go.
Stop talking. Well, you can talk all you want because you're muted, so you can't hear yourself. All right. Look, I think I've changed my mind on this a few times based on watching other Forest content recently. But from the off, I've always said play a back three. Bolly's now gone. So Bolly's injured and Sangari might be injured. We don't know yet. Press conference, I think he said he had a knock or something. So Sangari might be injured. But I'm now starting to I've literally changed my mind the last couple of days. Initially, I wanted to play three at the back with two wing backs, a two in the midfield, and sort of 1-2 out of that or whatever. I can't even remember what it was. 5-3-2 basically, right? With two wing backs. That's what I wanted to play. Now I'm starting to change my mind rapidly, and I'm starting to think.
Turn me on.
Yeah, you're on.
Right. Before you change your mind, tell me, you talking about three at the back and two wing backs. Tell me who the third centre back is, assuming you got Milenkovic and Murillo. And tell me, have you put Moreno and Aina in, or have you kept Nico Williams and Aina at the wing backs?
Okay, so you want to kind of go through my option of the 5-3-2 that I play, is that right?
Yeah, but just the back five, assuming it was what you've just suggested, because you said you've actually changed based on hearing other people's ideas. Let's assume you haven't changed and you're going with this initial idea of five at the back. You said three centre backs and two wing backs. Who are you saying? Because it's basically about Omobamidele. Is he getting a game? And about Moreno as well.
No, do you know what? I actually initially thought that Omobamidele actually had a bad game against Greece the other day. He was playing right back. If we're doing a back three, I'd think about it. But to be honest, what about Morato? He's one of our new signings we haven't seen yet. He's just come in, right?
Against Liverpool?
So, yeah, well, it's going to be Omobamidele or him who come in. So, it's one or the other. So, Morato is played for Benfica. He's just come over. He's a very capable defender. He's going to be our next sort of backup. So I consider having a back three with Murillo, Morato, two Brazilians who can talk to each other in the same language as well. That helps, right?
And the
Portuguese. And then Milenkovic, who captained Serbia to a really good 0-0 draw. I think it was with Spain in the international break. He looks really solid. He's back and he's firing. He's going to be the signing of the season. So if I was to do it, I actually think I would withdraw my love of Republic of Ireland for a second and just say, right, let's step back and be sort of impartial. And I would say, let's go for Morato, Murillo, Milenkovic, left wing back, Moreno. And then I think I'd have Aina on the right. I really do. I think I'd have Aina on the right and
It's
then get
strong.
Neko Williams on. Yeah,
How
I
strong
just
is
think
that?
that's
When
pretty
you remove,
strong.
like you say, all of our emotional, imagine that. You got Murillo, Murillo, Milenkovic. Like, I think we could keep a clean sheet against anyone. Maybe not Haaland.
I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I do think that it'll really nullify Liverpool's attack. It all depends on the wing backs and how they do their defensive duties. Because if Liverpool,
We need Trent
we get
Alexander-Arnold to not have an amazing game, and then I think we can do all right.
it's not just him. I mean, there's Salah, there's Diaz, there's Jota.
Yeah, but he seems to be the most
Szoboszlai.
inconsistent. Do you know what I mean? He's inconsistent, and when he's good, he's just unplayable, and when he's bad, he lets that team down. Do you know what I mean?
That's actually
What other Liverpool player possesses that sort of narrative?
No,
I
you're
think
right. You're right.
If Trent doesn't have a good game, then we can do all right. If he has a great game, then he's going to be the undoing of us.
Can we get back to the team?
Yeah, I'm still a good side note, but yeah.
If there was three in the midfield, I would play Sangare, assuming he's fit.
He's not though, is he?
I don't know what was in the press conference today. I didn't see the press conference, but I heard that
Bolly and Sangare are out. I think, mate.
Well,
obviously not confirmed, but the media reports are pretty solid that he's out. The people are discussing that they're out, and then Nuno even sort of went, "Yeah, it's not looking good." He said that publicly. So,
well, he might be playing games. Who knows? But in that case, we got to play Yates and
Nuno's. Wasn't there another pun, or we just repeated that for another time when you said "who knows" and I went "Nuno's"? Wasn't there another manager that?
I don't know.
Like you said, it doesn't work with Cooper, does it? It must have been Nuno. Oh, I'll carry on.
There's no carry on about it. Look, we're not going to get through this team. Like you've cut me off several times.
No, we've just discussed the back five.
Yeah, and then in the middle three, I would probably play Ward-Prowse, Yates or Sangare. If Sangare's not fit, I'd have Yates in there because he's more of a true number 6 than anyone else we have. And who else would I play in the 3?
So you got Yates and Ward-Prowse. That's an interest. I mean, wow, Ward-Prowse coming straight into the middle of.
I play Anderson as well. I play. That's if Sangare's injured. I play Sangare if he's not injured. But if Sangare's injured, it's Sangare / Yates, and then it's Ward-Prowse, Anderson, and then just ahead of him is Morgan Gibbs-White, and then up top, who am I putting up top?
Woody boy.
Negative. I'm playing Taiwo Awoniyi to start this.
100%. Taiwo in.
Taiwo Awoniyi to start this game. I'm putting Taiwo, all my faith in Taiwo, 60 minutes, hit him hard. I've had numerous people say the same things to me on WhatsApp conversations. We all agree Nottingham Forest are magic. Taiwo is magic. This is Nottingham Forest. Taiwo is going to smash him. He's unpredictable. That's his thing. He's unpredictable. And I feel like he'll bamboozle Van Dijk.
He's going to come out of the fog tomorrow, isn't he? Or on Saturday.
Yeah,
he's going to come out the fog.
Well, it will be tomorrow by the time this is released, but yeah.
And dance the night away.
Okay. Right. So that would be my formation if it was 5-3-2, and it would be Milenkovic, Murillo, Morato, Moreno, Aina. It would be Sangare or Yates if Sangare's not fit.
You start saying the Forest lineup in a row, they do sound like a bit like a invented character names for a new boy band. Morato, Moreno, Murillo. Is this the way to
Amarillo?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I'm laughing about names now, but it's just funny. Moreno, Murillo, Nottingham Forest.
Okay. Well, do you want me to do the 4-4-2-1-3-1-1, or do you want me to just leave it alone?
No, let's hear it. I think what you said, you know what interests me about what you have just said before you move into that other idea is, while it sounds really strong and really solid, and I'm there going, oh my God, we could feasibly keep a clean sheet against Liverpool if we do that sort of thing. These are some strong players. These are some hard, tall, brilliantly technical footballers. But we're so used to seeing Elanga or Cho on the wings. We're eliminating that now. I mean, what are we without them? It's an amazing thought. What is this newfound Nottingham Forest without Anthony Elanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi at least featuring somehow. Do you know what I mean?
I do, and
Like
it's a
what?
very good point.
It sort of feels weird. It feels like suicide, football suicide.
No,
Not
it
having
doesn't.
those.
Well, here's the thing. I also feel like we need to set up with an outlet, and I've just named a team without both of them in it, and I found a way to get them both in it in the team that I sent Statsman Will the other day, and I don't know, it's just weird. I feel like we do need that pacey outlet of Elanga, but Will made a good point. He said, look, why don't we bring Elanga on 60, 70 minutes, run them ragged? You know what I mean? And that's a good point. But do we need one of them on at least?
One of the
Anyway,
fittest teams in the world. Yeah.
well, listen. The other
I don't know why I'm
option
saying
is
that. Statsman's will
well,
was full of sense. No, really.
well,
But
like, but like,
I just don't think we can run Liverpool ragged. I guess even Elanga. Maybe you can.
well, hang on. Now I know Liverpool were missing quite a few players and played a couple of youth players against us last time round. But let's have a look at the team that we put out against Liverpool a few months ago, and we kind of strategically nullified them really well and closed the space, and we were a little bit of a threat as well occasionally. Let's have a look at that team back in March, I think it was. Yeah. So the team that we put up against them last time was back four: Murillo, Omobamidele, Williams, Toffolo, Yates and Dominguez, Origi, Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi, and Elanga was our sort of our false nine up top. But like in reality, you could play that 4-2-3-1, and you could literally have Murillo, Milenkovic, Aina, Moreno. You could have Yates and Anderson or Sangari if he's fit. He probably won't be. Everyone will know if he is or isn't by the time this comes out, but it'll be Sangari and Anderson, or Yates and Anderson. And then it could just be the same old Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, and up top Wood or Taiwo, which is exciting. And it might just take the game to them, but it's Anfield, you know what I mean? You can't just take the game to them.
I do think I only raised that because it's a talking point. I think going defensive is a sensible idea. For once in my life, I'm a bit like I quite like to see like anything from this game. A point, a 0-0, a 1-1 would be. I'd be really excited to see. I've never felt like that before with Forest. I've always been a bit more like, oh, I just want us to play. I want us to try and win. And you know what? If we can just do them dirty somehow, I'd love it because they'd hate it so much if they can't beat us.
Well, also,
although I want some sweet revenge.
Slots come in. Slots come in, right?
He's slotted right in, hasn't he?
He's listen. He's come in and they haven't conceded a goal. He's come in and they haven't conceded a goal, and
exactly.
they've scored more than two or more in every game, and they've just kind of rolled teams over. So we it is going to be difficult, but I think if we can just really frustrate them early on, then they might kind of lose their marbles a bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that,
but yeah, let's dream.
We have to dream. And I've said this. I think we're going to win this game. My prediction at the end of this episode will be that we will beat Liverpool at Anfield. And if I get egg on my face and we lose 3-0 like we did last year, fine. But we might not. We might win 1-0 like we did the year before. And we have to believe that. And we do believe that. I believe that. I don't know if you do, but I think we can do it. Obviously, you can go through the list of their teams. You can go Trent Alexander-Arnold, like you said, he's inconsistent, but when he's unplayable, he's unplayable. You can talk about Salah. You can talk about Diaz. You can talk about their midfield, which is now kind of rejuvenated with McAllister, Soboslai. What's that lad's name? Gravenberg. Like, some of these players are just coming out of nowhere, and they're like world-class players. A lot of top class, if not world-class.
2 examples. We've got two trails of thought here. Assuming Sangare is out, how does Ward-Prowse, Yates and Anderson work with Gibbs White in front of them? Or alternatively, if Sangare is fit, how does Ward-Prowse, Sangare and presumably Anderson again fit? Do you know what I mean? Talk to me. Just I'm genuinely asking you because I don't know what it is.
If we don't have 3 in the midfield, I don't play Ward-Prowse. So if we just have the 2 midfield, the 4-2-3-1, if we have the 2 midfielders, the 6 and the 8, I don't play Ward-Prowse. I play either Sangare or Yates in the 6, depending on who's fit, and I play Anderson in the 8. If we have 2,
you just know what's going to happen, don't you? By the way, the whole Ward-Prowse and dead balls, free kicks, and corners. He's not going to score one for us. He's going to sky a few. there's going to be all this pressure on him being here for dead balls, and he's going to be sort of like pretty helpful in the dressing room. He's going to be great in midfield, and he's probably going to do other things other than. You just know with Forest that's
But
what's
that's not
going
all
to
he.
happen.
But that's not all he is. He's a decent.
That's what.
He's a decent ball playing
Yeah.
midfielder. Like he's actually handy on the ball. Like we just
Exactly. But do
know
you reckon
him
he gets
for
sick? Do you
specialising in
reckon
that.
he actually goes? Do you reckon he listens or is aware of online content? It's a bit like, great, I was good at this. Now it's all anyone expects, and all I can do is think about it going wrong. So every time I do it, it just goes absolutely pear
Do I
shaped.
reckon he listens or watches our podcast or content like this? No,
Not
I don't. I
our
think he
podcast.
practices
I mean,
free kicks and corners and gets ready for professional football matches like Liverpool tomorrow. That's what I think.
I don't think he listens to this podcast. I just mean human to human. The minute something becomes something, it suddenly stops working. Do you know what I mean? Is there going to be a little bit of that in him? People are going on
It
about
could
him
be.
being...
I mean, it could be. Look,
There's going to be a
people are
lot of
always
pressure
looking.
when he has to take his first free kick for us. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's a pro. He's done this a million times before. It might have been when
True.
he, you know what I mean? Like, he's a pro. Hasn't he had a
You
couple
know,
of caps for England himself? Like,
you know,
he
if
might
you're a
have been.
brilliant piano player and you meet another brilliant piano player, and
Mhm.
the first piano
Yeah, I
player
know all
can do
about
the
that.
trill,
I don't play the
the
piano, but
second
you
piano
do.
player goes, "Hang on, how the hell do you do those trills? And how did you do that?" And they show them, and they go, "Oh yeah." And the second piano player then just practice it a couple of times, and they can also then do those trills. Why is it if Ward-Prowse does what he does, can't he sit and chat to Gibbs White and go, "Look how I'm kicking it. Just look how I'm kicking it." And Gibbs White can go,
I
"Oh."
imagine. I
And then
imagine.
surely another professional footballer can just go, right.
Matt.
Yeah.
I imagine in training. There's going to be a lot of sharing information and helpful stuff and focusing on things, but something like a set piece, just like David Beckham was amazing at it. He didn't suddenly turn to everyone he went to in LA Galaxy when he went there and went, listen, this is how you put a great free kick in. It's years and years and years of learning, just like it is with the guitar, like I've played the guitar before, or like it is with the piano, like you've played the piano before. It's years and years and years of that mixed in with that innate sort of natural ability as well. So it's a combination of things. So yeah, it's touch and go. Some piano players will always be better than other ones, and some
But that's what I mean.
podcasters
If
will
to him,
always be
is it
better
like
than other ones.
is it like is it like a muscle memory thing though with Ward-Prowse? If he's that good consistently
yeah.
at doing, he's just got something in his bones, has he? Something in his rhythm and his sort of
It's
sense
practice,
of
but
gravity.
it's practice and
Yeah, but Yates probably practices as much as he does, but he's just there's something
Yates doesn't.
different.
I wouldn't say Yates practices taking free kicks or corners. No. But I do know what you mean. You're asking me if it's trained, learned, or natural. It's all of the above.
Yeah. Did his parents teach him how to do it? I'm joking, mate. Don't answer that. Let's carry on.
I won't. Anyway, look, Liverpool game tomorrow. I want some score predictions. I even want a bit of a weird red hot take for me if you can get one out of that scrambled brain of yours tonight.
I kind of given it. I've said that James Ward-Prowse doesn't score a set piece for Nottingham Forest all season.
That's for the season. I'm asking for tomorrow, and that's a negative one. Like, give me a
red
positive one for tomorrow.
A positive red hot take for tomorrow.
Yep.
Positive red hot take for tomorrow is that. Positive red hot take for tomorrow. Well, no, it's day after tomorrow at Anfield.
Yeah, but it will be tomorrow by the time this is released. Okay, look, I'm gonna just go and ask you your score prediction because the audio listeners will have switched off if the visual people haven't already.
Yeah, and if they have, that's fine. We don't get any money for this, and I'm wasted. Sorry, I'm actually really grateful for anyone that hasn't switched off.
Oh my gosh, just so disrespectful to some of the people.
It's not disrespectful, but you're worrying about whether they're here or not.
Worrying. I just want you to hurry up.
Okay, well,
hang on, just to let everyone know what else I've got going on here. We've got a where are they now section, a review corner, and then
where are they now has got to go, mate. I said before, where is it now? As in, where is that section now? It's just gone.
Where are you now, you absolute clown? Give us your red hot take for the game, or tell me your score prediction, one or the other. Hurry up.
I've got both for you. My score prediction is that Forest get a 1-1 draw, and it really frustrates Liverpool, and it's amazing. My red hot take for tomorrow is that that it's a red hot take, and the red hot take is
You don't have one.
Christ. There's nothing
You've wasted
interesting.
my time and your time. I'll give you one. My
Wait, no,
red
I
hot
won't.
take.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
red
yeah.
hot take tomorrow is that Trent Alexander-Arnold gets 2 yellow cards and gets sent off, and it causes Liverpool a world of problems. It happens within the first 50 minutes. They're 1-0 up, and as a result, it affects the game massively. And then we go on to win it, just like Leeds did that time, 2-1 late, and they ran over their screaming fans, and all the Forest fans be going nuts. I'll be screaming. You'll be slamming the computer and going, Chris was right. Chris was right. My red hot take for tomorrow's game is Trent Alexander-Arnold gets sent off, or someone does anyway, and as a result, we win the game. 2-1. Eat that, Liverpool fans in Anfield.
Who is the better dead ball / free kick taker / crosser of the ball out of Trent and James Ward-Prowse?
We've moved on from this. I don't know.
Just tell me the answer.
Question.
What?
I don't know the answer to the question. I don't actually know. They're both
It's
excellent.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, mate.
Okay.
Isn't
knock us down again. Right. Can we? We've done Liverpool.
I'm just trying to keep it level. I'm just trying to level it out.
Nothing.
My red hot take. A red hot take.
I don't need your red hot take. Your red hot take's gone. Your opportunity's over. That's finished. We've done Liverpool. We've tried to go through strategy and tactics, and you've just talked over me about boy bands and various things. You've got antlers on your head. No,
that's a punishment.
But that's what's happened, Matt. So we're not going into any more of the Liverpool game. We've done it now. I wish everyone the best of travel down there. Colonel Sanders.
You hitting the music. You get the music on. If it's
I would say Dave Sanders is going, right? So I call him Colonel Sanders, but Dave Sanders is going. Absolute legend.
The Colonel we call him
because he's an absolute legend. Loads of people are going to this game tomorrow. Okay, so it's going to be a big one, right? And Forest fans are going to be absolutely buoyant, wild, unruly, and it's going to be brilliant. But before I get the music going, I do want to do a Where Are They Now section. You're going to allow me to do it. All right.
Well, I'm not going to stop you.
This is a sheet of paper. Anyone who's listening, there's a long, big piece of paper. When I was in work today, I ridiculously decided to find out which for some reason I've always wanted to know which Forest games I've been to, and the only way I could figure it out was by printing off 8 pieces of paper of all the leagues, right from the top of the Premier League right down to the National League, because we played some teams in the National League in the past, and then ticked them off as I went. And I actually got caught by my manager. He was like, "What are you doing?" And I went, I'm actually just going through all the football teams in England to find out which games I've been to." Anyway, long story short, I go down to the National League and I find out 9th in the National League is Yeovil Town. Game I didn't actually go to, thank God. But Yeovil Town, where are they now? Well, I'll tell you where they are. They're 9th in the National League. I don't forgive them for all those years ago. Something came up in my algorithms recently which showed me Forest losing at home to Yeovil Town. I think it was Aaron Davies and Chris Cohen was playing for them at the time. We got David Prutton sent off late. So that's my Where Are They Now? Where are Yeovil Town? They're 9th in the National League. They're nowhere near us. I am delighted that they're that far down. And that might sound a little evil, but you know what? They did a little evil to us not so long ago. Me and you were crying in the toilets of a pub in the corner in Chiswick.
You know, that was nearly 20 years ago. Well, 16 years ago that was. You and I were in Chiswick, West London, crying in a pub in toilet because they beat us 5-4.
Devastating. Anyway.
That's so funny. But you know what? I'm going to the QPR against Crystal Palace next week at Loftus Road. It's going to bring back some memories. Another team I dislike.
Well, we've been to QPR many times together.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm going back to Loftus Road as a Palace away fan. So that'll be fun for the League Cup.
Also, it's a sort of a London derby, so that'll be quite roiled up.
Queen's Park Rangers, though, isn't it? I can't stand them. It's going to be easy to support Palace, basically, because it's going to be.
Well, and your partner supports Palace. But anyway, let's. That's it. I mean, the only next thing to do is sort of a review corner, a bit of a review corner. There wasn't really much.
Have we got any review corners? Yeah, well, let's put some music on for the review corner and sign off. I'm trying to think of a red hot take, Chris. I really haven't got one for tomorrow. I think because anything other than a lose will feel like a red hot take. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say my red hot take is that Jota Silva gets our goal and some commentator somewhere in the world makes the pun joke about it not being Jota for Liverpool, but Jota for Forest. That's my red hot take.
Well, okay. Well, okay. So that's a terrible red hot take, but we'll go with whatever that is. And if that ends up happening,
Why is it terrible?
because you're talking about commentators saying certain things about.
It was different from just, this will be the score, or that person will get a goal, or
mine was pretty specific. But I said Trent Alexander-Arnold will get 2.
Just because it was abstract or outside the box or whatever, it doesn't mean it's terrible. It just means it's something you haven't thought of yet.
And with that, I'll tell you that there is no real review corner. There is no real shout outs. The only 2 shout outs I have is someone did actually reach out to us for the fantasy football, just an FYI, as I play the music. Someone did actually reach out to us for the fantasy football. And so we do have people that reach out. We're not that pathetic. We're not that ridiculous. I mean, we are. But in this case, we have one prize winner who wants to collect the prize. The prize will be out to you soon, Leo. And then...
Well done, Leo.
The review corner is Christian randomly just messaged saying, got to say, I'm intrigued about NFFC all over Forest Fantasy 5s. I cannot believe it. Another one.
Brilliant. Well, you've got another couple of weeks to join the leagues. We've got 4 leagues going now with different players starting at different times.
Yeah, and Matt has spreadsheets and is apparently organising it all. So hopefully you're gathering in your drunken state the people's teams for this, or am I the communicator who has to go get that information and bring it back to you?
Your PR on production and technical. So if you can communicate it, I'll implement it.
I'm also
tonight
reliable.
you are too.
I'm also reliable. That's what I am, and that's what you're not. You let me down, but we're going to beat Liverpool this weekend. We're going to beat Liverpool this weekend. You're muted now. You're muted. We're going to beat Liverpool. You can say something in a minute, but I've muted you. We're going to beat Liverpool this weekend. I'm going to fade out on that. I'm going to follow us at forestallover on Instagram, at NFFC all over on Twitter. Alternatively, you go to forestallover.com. Please like and subscribe to this video. Do that. That's important to us. It really is. Matt's pretending to play the guitar in the background. He looked like an absolute idiot. Matt, anything to say? I've unmuted you now.
Good night, mate. I'm sorry that I let you down tonight, but I'm fine. I can set up. Career focus.
Okay. Let's end it there. Nothing else to say.